She seems to think there's another child that was born in there. Besides, she says they're David Arnold.
He's been 2 years old.
Yeah, but she says that he was born in the same year that Olive was. Maybe Olive's date is wrong. I don't know. Unless they were twins.
Well, there's something about him in this book too, because it kind of surprised me when.
Page 354 is.
When they want to go, it's changed format. David was born November 10th, 1870 and died April 1st, 1872. He was between John Gerald and Olive.
What do they say, Olive?
She was born September 18th, 1872.
They must have changed it then.
Well, then, but what date does it say there?
Yes, she was born 1870.
This book is actually born 1872. That was supposed to be taken out of this book?
Well, it was not that book. This is the original book now. Maybe they've changed it because the page numbers are different. Turn the page.
Page what?
This page. And this is 355. There's Arnold right there. Well, maybe she's got it back here. Okay, yeah. Well, they just made a mistake then, because here's David here. And then Olive's here. They got the wrong date, that's all. Yeah, they just made a mistake.
I don't know why, but somewhere back in my mind, it run in my head that this Mita could have been an adopted child. He says about a half of her. Because it runs in my mind that they worked with the Indians or something, taught or something on Indian reservation or had something to do with the Indians. And you know that one picture of her, she looks as Indian features. In one of those pieces that you showed me there, and she had her on there with them. And that YTEEVE Doesn't sound like an English name.
You sure there's a picture of her in here in the
Uh-huh.
child? Of course, that's your grandparents right
Yeah.
there. These.
This one. I don't know about that, so. Only Salem, Oregon. And this is the one I wondered about. Right here. Good dark shoes.
Yeah.
But she doesn't tell any other more, but I just kind of wondered. That might be the one. And I know I can just vaguely remember back. I think my sister, her mother told me about it when she went away when she was born. My sister in the house. And there's something about Indian flashes in my mind about it.
Huh. She might still be around, but I don't know where she is.
She said she was in Illinois when I asked I ever said anything about her. I never ever received any of those letters. She would just say Mita is so and so. We've been to see Mita in Illinois or something.
She ever stop by and see you?
No, she hadn't been there for years and years.
She said, Joyce Swanky says in this letter that she says, I knew only my great aunts Rosalie, Corinne, and Olive in California, and Anna Smith and her daughter Ora in Denver. I also had met Aunt Ollie's daughter, Vera Holmes Spencer, and her husband Barclay, but I believe they are all gone now. I'm not sure whether Ora Smith is still living.
Ora was the one. I have the letter from. I have her Denver address, unless after she went into this restaurant thing, if she might have given her, I should give that to you.
Ora Smith?
She is in Denver. Her dad, she had a home there.
Look her up when I'm out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it because I took it down one time when I was coming out here. I thought maybe I might stop over in Denver on the way back or something. And I never did.
As you can see, I don't have a lot on the Arnolds, but I do have, and that's Dad's. like to know more about, some of the specific dates, like exactly when Gerald died. He went by Bill, right? But that was his middle name. It was William.
Yeah, Charles William.
Do you remember where they died?
Where he died?
Where he died, yeah.
He died at the Washington County Hospital.
Where's that, in Washington?
Washington.
What did he die of?
He had a ruptured appendix in his back before penicillin softened all that stuff and got peritonitis.
They didn't even realize that he had a bad appendix.
Oh, he'd had bad spells before, but he was kind of stubborn, just wore it out, until it finally got so bad. I guess it was leaking poison out through the appendix before they could operate.
That's too bad. Do you remember where he married Margaret?
I don't know why, but it runs in my mind. They were married out at Lower Bethel Church, right out between Sigourney and Gilda. I could find that out from Margaret.
Is she the one that runs the library?
No, that's Catherine Allen. She's a distant cousin. She almost took it son. The reason I kind of think so, she was living in Ottumwa, and I was married, but I was home for a week, just visiting, I guess, for part of the weekend. He said somebody was going to go over and get her that day, and they were going to get married. You might need me for a witness, and I thought they were going to stop there and get married. But I don't know why. I'm just not sure about it.
They didn't make a big deal out of getting married. Is that how most of the kids were?
Yeah, we just went up to say that we were married. A couple got married. They didn't have fourth a while that big wedding, but most of them just got married.
Yeah.
Now back, I guess, when my mother was married, they made big deals of it. Big weddings when they were done, and then they kind of got out of it.
I don't have here, but they had I got a copy of the marriage notice of you and Grandpa. Said it almost took the newspaper by surprise. Almost didn't get in.
Yeah, the editor. Grandpa were real good friends, and he was friends with me while he was Roger's uncle. I suppose Roger's dad was in there too, but I don't remember that he was. Probably was.
You remember where Gerald was married? Sigourney?
I don't know.
He was married in 1914, so he was
I don't really know. She lived, I think, in Martinsburg at the time. Or she might, Lyman's was Lyman was her sister, and she might have been staying with Lyman's. Because he would go over to Martinsburg because it was more back in the before cars were very plentiful. So I just really don't know. They could have been married in the Buddhism life.
Well, both Everett and Gerald were married the same year.
Yeah. I remember Everett's because they had a wedding. They were married in that South on Main Street, kind of a big house, South Louise, sits on the corner, and I think plenty of records that I could give you.
But it was in Kyoto.
Yeah. Because I remember I was doing the wedding, just think I remember.
What about Siora? When was she married?
I know that stuff just went over my head when I was a kid. I don't know much about it since.
remember where Everett died.
At home. Heart attack died at home. Up where Roger Home was now.
Is that right? How long did he live there?
Oh, they'd lived there several years. In fact, they were getting a little house down on Main Street ready to move into. They didn't know. I don't think. I think they just rented it.
Was he overweight?
He was 27.
He had a heart attack and he was only 56 years old.
He'd had him before that, I think. But, he was a nervous disposition guy. Long curly hair.
It's kind of unusual with your dad as dark as his hair was. I don't think your mother's was all that light, was it?
She had auburn hair.
Where did Gerald die?
He died at home too. I'm dead in bed. His wife was one of the daughters. They just had a new baby and she was over there. And he ran a trucking line there and somebody who worked for him was waiting for him to show up, tell him what to do that day, and he didn't show up, so they, I was trying to think if they didn't, for Grandpa, they didn't come and get him, so they were a heart attack too, I guess. He wasn't bad, he was found on the floor. But it just looked like he got up, getting ready to go to work, you know. Remember Eddie had part of his clothes on and part of them not on yet or what. It's kind of a shock.
Well, that year after Everett died, 1949. Is Alma still alive?
She died a few years ago, they just terminated. She was out the rest home for a while.
Where did Seora pass away?
Out in Washington County. Home care, long-term care or something kind of down there.
She in pretty bad shape.
She had diabetes before anybody knew she had it. She hadn't been feeling good for a year or two, and finally she had to go to the doctor, but by that time she was almost blind. She had kind of clots or something was supposed to block off her vision, and then she was down at Arlene's for several years, and then finally she got gangrene and started in her foot, and they finally had to amputate just below the knee. The time she died, she couldn't see, she couldn't talk, she'd had strokes after she was in there, and she could hear was about the only thing. Perfectly helpless. But you could still hear, because one time I went down, I hadn't been down for a while, and I went down to see her and went up, sat up her bed and spoke, and she got with M out, you know. I told her daughter about it, and she was just astounded. She said she hadn't even tried to say anything for quite a long time. See, she died just exactly 4 weeks ahead of your grandpa. She died it was the 7th of November, and he died the 5th of December, both on a Sunday morning. Just 4 weeks apart.
What about Uncle Art? Was he in pretty bad condition before he died? Or was it sudden?
Well, I think right at the last it was sudden, but he had lots of things wrong with him. He had a real bad heart, and I think he had some kidney problems too at the last there. He was in and out of the hospital a lot the last 2 years. I got to tell you, Dad too, I got a letter from Hart's wife, Mabel, here a month or two ago. Should have answered before I came out here, but and she had had a stroke here a year or so ago. It's left one leg of her weak. She can't get around. So she was in the hospital. What's wrong with her this last time? Oh, she has cancer. I'm trying to think whether I'm getting her mixed up with somebody else there in town. I think it was cancer of the colon, and she had to have so many inches taken out of her bowel. And she was at home and was getting along pretty good. I realized then that I hadn't got a birthday card from her on her birthday, but she had sent. So I think she was in the hospital at that time. So I got to write to her as soon as I get home. So it doesn't sound like she's in very good shape. She's from a family of 9, I believe. And she and a sister and brothers all was left out of the family.
How old is she?
I think she'd be 82. I think she was born in 1900.
Your father was never in the military, was he?
No, he was crippled when he was a young man. He worked in a sawmill in Ohio. And somewhere there, these great big sawmills, you know, where they had great big saws, somewhere there he fell into where the log was going through somewhere or other, and he had part of his foot taken off. It must have been kind of like that. His one big toe was gone, and I don't know how much more he was crippled. And somebody threw a log in to jam the thing, or it would have just cut him all to pieces probably. So he was sort of crippled.
Did that cause him a lot of problems during his life?
I don't think he had what they call Bright's disease now, or they call it Bright's disease. Then it's some kind of itis now, nephritis, or is that nervous? Anyhow, it's kind of an inflammation of the kidneys. I think that came on. He had measles after some of the kids had measles, you know, when they were growing up. He had never had him as a boy, and caught him from him, and then that just kind of left him with weak kidneys and all kind of problems after that.
Well, that Bright's disease isn't hereditary, is it? I think I've got his picture right here. Just about everybody. That's your mother's. That's your dad's right there.
That mother's around home there somewhere. I never run into it. I don't think I ever did have one of his.
Yeah, I just got all those copies when I was back last time. And I've been writing somebody up in Des Moines there's microfilms of all the killed eagle. And I have, on microfilm, I have 3 rolls of microfilm of killed eagle the first 12 years of it.
You do?
Yeah, so I go down to the library once in a while and read about it. And I found a thing in there about your grandfather being in the butcher business. Picture of him in the paper. Copies aren't always, yeah.
He's a carpenter.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I always did think that he was a carpenter.
I think we mentioned that. It said that he was he's obituary.
Oh, I bet you're right about it.
Yeah.
Back in my mind, I suppose nobody ever told. See, you died before I was born.
Yeah, he died 1906. He was a farmer and
Before he came there.
yeah. One common denominator in all the lines of our families, they were all farmers.
He used to really write it up far, I didn't think.
You
His
know,
whole life was tenaciously programming. However, the life was slowly and gradually relaxed, and he is no more. Every time there's an obituary of one of my family, right beside it, something about the Singmaster on my dad's, I think it was. There's something about the Singmasters are importing some horses.
here's your mother's death certificate.
Say a town where death occurred. I guess she did live in town.
Here's the card.
I didn't think her dad was born in Kentucky. Well, you're in a big historic part of Kentucky. I'm pretty sure he was born in Kentucky.
No, that
He was
Stewart
from
line's
Ohio,
up.
wasn't he?
No, it was Pennsylvania, Beaver County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was from
But her mother was from Kentucky.
Right.
That was contributory. The main was Greenville.
Yeah.
There's your father's.
Oh, it is death uranium poisoning too, which was be the same thing that she died with that big tumor.
That's more or less just kidney shutdown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did she have a history of bad kidney? Is one of the factors on something like that kidney stone?
I think now probably if somebody have it too bad, they probably have a transplant or something.
A big kick out of this. One of the bits of information is an old age tax record, and you were only 29 years old.
Had to make it up myself, I guess, to get a birth certificate.
Yeah, it's odd that they didn't have it delayed one. That's your grandfather.
Yeah, I should have. It seemed like that day and age, I should have had one. We quoted this was a demon of makes a moon. Margaret. Does this mean that she was living in Williamsburg at the time of death?
Yeah.
I wonder why she was living there. She would live with that.
Well, I think that's where she died. It may not have been where she died. There's not a marriage certificate for your parents, but that was the entry. And it says there that her mother's maiden name was Elizabeth Evans. So maybe Dicey was a derivative of that.
I never did hear her. What happened? Got her name down as Evans.
Dicey Evans.
Looks like down here they've got under this one thing is member.
First marriage.
Was there first marriage? Or maybe Eliza Evans was your.
No, that's your parents.
Oh.
And that's your mother's probate record. Not much to it.
$50 is all that house was estimated at.
Yeah. I wonder if they estimated low on something like that, though.
The prices were kind of low. House where I live wasn't very high until. Well, it still wasn't very high. It was high enough, I guess, for it. I think it was around 5,000 for a long time ago. And suddenly they had somebody come in from like Cedar Rapids or somewhere where prices of things and they hooped her up to 11,000 just about 1 year. But with veterans exemption and homestead exemption, I just didn't know much of anything to pay, so.
When did you move into that house?
1956, I believe.
Where were you living before that? With someone?
Oh no, we lived down where north of the house.
Oh.
Just before that, we moved in from the farm before that.
How long had you been on the farm?
Oh, about 4 or 5 years. I better be finding out when they want to go. I see your dad out there wandering around. What time were you wanting to go? Oh, well, I don't have to hurry then. I'd have to change clothes and clean up a little first. Well, yeah, I'll put on something.
You don't have to look good at our place.
Well, we're going shopping.
Oh,
I must look good when I shop.
Yeah, don't want strangers to